Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Welcome back to Pagan Problems, and let's talk about turning those problems into victories. For the past year, we have explored all kinds of different problems on this channel. Some of these have been very specific to pagans. Others are far more general. We're just looking at them through a pagan lens. Life has plenty of ups and downs, and it's up to us to fortify our minds and spirits to face the challenges that come our way. Any individual with any amount of life experience understands that nothing about this is easy, and sometimes I wonder if we aren't making the process of overcoming our obstacles more difficult than necessary by focusing so much on it's a problem aspect of things. Now, granted, it is important to understand the nature of a problem, what led to its creation, and what's required to solve it in order to be successful. But too often, people I'm noticing just get stuck in the analysis mode, and they expend so much energy on that that they don't have any energy left over for the phase where we actually solve it and take action. So clearly an adjustment in our focus is needed. We've got to be much more invested in the solution than we are in the problem. That makes the steps in between the two much more manageable, and we won't be constantly questioning whether or not the effort is worthwhile, because we'll know that it is. And have you ever thought about the way that we just mentally tear ourselves down and how consuming those thoughts can be, and they just create this bottomless whirlpool that sucks down our entire spirit? I've thought about this, and it worries me because that is the pull that we have to resist the most. It's like literal drowning, the panic, the fear, the inability to act rationally. A drowning person can, and unfortunately sometimes they do, literally kill their rescuer because their brain in that situation is essentially turned off. It's just pure instinct, fight or flight, and it can be very brutal as well as counterproductive. So I don't want to trivialize how difficult it is for people to get out of that drowning state on the mental, emotional, or spiritual levels. It is not without reason that people get trapped there, which is why I think it's incredibly important to focus on productive solutions. Now, when I talk about solution, I'm not necessarily saying that it equals ideal or even preferable, but it does require that the problem is stopped from progressing any further and that matters have been set right so far as what is humanly possible. We can't undo damage in the sense of making it as though nothing ever happened. That approach is not realistic. Whatever has taken place has happened, and all the consequences that flow from it are going to unfold. So we have to adapt to the world as it is now and act as justly as we can in the present time. We must ask ourselves the question of what can be achieved in these circumstances, and does that serve the long-term good? Practicality, learning to live with emotional fallout instead of getting lost in it, and staying focused on moving forward goes a long way to turning our setbacks into victories. So improvise, adapt, overcome. Let's take that into 2023. So those are my thoughts on that. Time to let me know what you think about all this. Does this resonate with you? Does it not? Do you have a different approach? Do you have ideas that you think would be worth people considering? Tell me all about it in the comments section, or come visit me on Gilded. The server is called Blackbird's Brew, and there's a link to join us in the description box below, and you would be very welcome. So hope to see you soon, but until then, bye.